guys have gone through. But I want to take a minute and I want to recognize, first of all, the first responders that are in this room, not only the chief officers that are here, but those that are in the back, police, fire, and EMS. These folks, when the watch and the warning went out on Thursday night, they left their fire stations and their comfortable buildings, and they went and set point to help to watch for a tornado or some kind of damage. A couple of the fire trucks that were going to set point inadvertently drove into the tornado, and they were trapped for about 4 hours with power lines over the top of the trucks until we could get them de-energized. I apologize, I'm a little tired. It's been a long few days as well, so if I stutter a little bit, just nudge me, you know. But listen, these folks, Thursday night, they were out there until about 4 a.m. We said, go home and get some sleep. And at 8 o'clock the next morning, most of those guys were back volunteering so that we could get damage assessment. These folks care about your community, about their community. I tell you what, it's, I don't know if it's just I'm tired, but it makes me feel very emotional to know that this community has come together so closely. These folks along the table over here, these are all volunteers. They're not firefighters or police officers. We have a few more in the room. These are your neighbors and friends and family. They came out this morning and they said, we want to volunteer. They showed up to our volunteer reception center. We got them all set and we've been assigning them out. This morning at noon, I can't tell you since noon, but at noon, we had 50 of your neighbors and friends show up to volunteer. And we were able to put 30 of them to work right away. We had Mike Drimby of Drimby Tree Service. You know that Mike normally charges to come up and clean up debris. Mike says, look, I got a truck, I got a chipper, I got chainsaws. I'm not going to charge you. You tell me where to go to work. We had people show up with tractors and other heavy equipment and said, look, we're not here to make any money. You tell us where to go to work. And so we've been sending them out. And we've been taking folks like these volunteers over here and sending them out to assist and drag debris. It's going to take us a while to clean it up, though. If you've not seen them in your neighborhood, you will. Today we knew it was going to be a bit of a soft start to getting the debris cleaned up, but tomorrow we have a number of nonprofit organizations that are coming in. One of them that's been here with us since Friday, Team Rubicon, they've been phenomenal. We had the Cajun Navy show up, which some of you may have heard. They kind of got their notoriety during some of the hurricanes down south, and they've been here as well, and they're going to continue to be here. So I tell you what, we're really truly blessed. You know, as the sheriff said, we had nearly 20 buildings that were destroyed, uninhabitable, and we had no significant injuries, and we're just so blessed here by that. So very thankful. So I just wanted to, real quickly before I kind of move forward with some of the other things that we're doing, the sheriff had mentioned the tornadoes that came through. The National Weather Service was on the ground Friday. They were able to track the tornado damage. We were also up in the state police helicopter. We'll have some pictures and videos and things like that coming. I was in the helicopter. It was very moving to see that from the air. We could see where it started over near Tyrell Road, around Shoreline with the damaged trailers that were there, and you either saw the trees down, the debris field, or we saw straight lines that were where the tornado dragged through the dirt and headed towards your homes. It was overwhelming to see. We're going to have some of that footage. We're going to have some of those pictures that we're going to be able to share with the media and social media, so you can see some of the things that we saw. It was absolutely amazing. But the National Weather Service confirmed that we did have two different tornadoes. The lesser of the two ran just a little bit north of the main tornado, EF0. The main one, again, started around Tyrell Road and ran all the way to the village of Lennon. You may have heard that we had 4 tornadoes. There was a bit of a miscommunication on Friday afternoon into Saturday. Actually, 2 of them were in Shiawassee County. So they had some minor damage in Shiawassee County, a couple of buildings and things like that. But this was the track of our tornado. You can see better over here. This is the one that ran to the north from 52 and Grand River. It ran 2 to 3 miles. This one here, this was the EF2. You can see where it started. They're actually saying over in Perry, but that's where they saw the rotation. The actual damage we saw started around Tyrell, and then of course went up to the village of Lennon. Some of you may say, well, you know what, I kind of live outside of that area and I had some cosmetic damage on my home, or maybe a little bit more. We can see up to a mile on both sides damage. In fact, over here in Durand at the trailer park, the 2 that are over there, Holiday Shores, we could see some damage in the trees. One of the trailers was damaged and the fence was blown down, where it was over a mile away from the tornado line. So that's not impossible to be that way. So kind of where we're at right now, the sheriff mentioned that we've done the damage assessment. We declared a local state of emergency. Shiawassee County is in a local state of emergency. Commissioner Root signed that. We sent that to the governor's office to let them know that we felt that the damage and the impact to our community was greater than what we could do without additional resources. We also sent a petition to the governor requesting certain resources, including some debris management equipment. Since this time, we've been able to find quite a bit of that of our own. Obviously, we have people that are donating and offering their equipment. But we've also asked them to consider, based on what our assessment is, to consider some individual relief. So that, whatever that might look like. What's going to be really important today, after we kind of break and send you out to talk to some of these resources, this table over here, we have 8 people. Raise your hand over here. All right. These volunteers are ready to take your information. Okay. We want to know who you are, where you live, what kind of impacts you have, and then also what kind of assistance you need. Now, we're not here. I can't promise you any assistance right now, but I can tell you, when you look around at all these people sitting at the table and the long list that was mentioned here, we are doing everything we can. I'm calling in every favor I can. I have an emergency manager that came in from Otsego County to help us today, just to kind of make sure that we were moving along. We had more bodies. We're trying to make sure every opportunity that we can provide to you is going to be there. Whether they tell us no or not, I don't know, but we're trying and we're getting them here. We have a great community, and these folks here behind you are ready to help. So as the days go forward, so like I said, today is kind of a soft start to the debris management. Tomorrow we're going to be hitting it hard, and you're going to see that until we got the debris cleaned up. Starting tomorrow, you'll see the road commission as well as the city of Owasso. We're going to have dump trucks out there as well as heavy equipment loading debris, and they're going to be taking it to a location where it's going to be chipped up and a little bit finer. As the weeks go on, even though the debris is cleaned up, you're still going to need some assistance. Many of you will still be rebuilding. You're going to be dealing with your insurance companies, and you may have questions. There may be questions. We're going to make sure that there's a phone number, email, contacts, whatever resources we need to give you to be able to reach out to my office so that we can make sure your needs are being met. And again, I can't promise anything, but you know what? We're going to work awful hard for you. The other thing I wanted to just recognize here is Representative Frederick. All right, I'm not much of a politician, but Representative Frederick was here Friday morning, and he has been here almost continuously since then. And I've reached out to him a couple times. He's helped us to get the volunteers. He's helped us to get some of the resources, and he's been reaching out to the governor's office and trying to, again, help the governor's office to understand the impact of our community. The folks sitting at the table back here, this is Michigan State Police Emergency Management. They're here to answer any questions you have. They have been phenomenal. You have to understand that they are kind of the middleman like I am, right? I provide the information up to them, they collect it, and then they, on behalf of our community, petition the governor for the same stuff. So these folks are working hard. The one person I want to point out, just so you know, Lieutenant Jeff Yonker. Jeff, raise your hand, all right? Jeff has been here since Friday or Thursday night when the storm hit. I called him and I said, Jeff, we've got a huge disaster here. He said, Trent, I'm going to be there. Jeff is the liaison to the Michigan State Police Emergency Management. Jeff is working on our behalf, helping me to make sure that we have these opportunities and resources available. So, Jeff, thanks for being here. We really appreciate it. I think that I kind of explained the process. I'm going to be available if you have any questions. But Dan's going to go through and just kind of identify some of the resources. Well, please, if you go to nobody else today, go over to those 8 people right there and give us the information, because that's going to help us to petition the governor. It's also going to help us to make sure we have the resources you need to be able to help recover. All right? Thank you very much, and God bless all of you. It's a struggle, and I've been out there with you, you know, looking at things, and it's hard.
Thank you. Thank you. Like I said, once again, I want to thank Representative Frederick. We can't compliment him enough. Part of putting this on today, part of working to get the emergency declared, having the channel, the communication with the governor. He's been very instrumental. Senator Tom Barrett has. Our commissioners that, like I said, worked really hard on it the last couple of days. Unfortunately, they couldn't be here right now. But also the Shiawassee Township Fire Department. I mean, can't thank you guys enough for everything you've done. We've been in your house now for 4 days, 3 days. So, with that, there are a couple announcements I forgot. If there's an emergency, we've had enough. Everyone needs to leave out that door. If you have to use the restroom facilities, you break here shortly. It's behind the stage and go down the hallway. So I'm going to kind of go around the room. I'm going to start with Director Phil Heflin. You have the Shiawassee Health and Wellness. They offer a lot of services. I see a lot of stress for you guys, whether you've been hit, your neighbor's been hit, maybe you need some counseling,